Let me welcome you, oh my god, to the BMW M5. This is a 2022 BMW M5, and this is my buddy's car, Slow213. You can follow him on Instagram, but thank you for letting me review it because I've always been wanting to drive the new M5, and we are in it. So, little specs: 2022 M5 competition. It's got the luxury package, the executive package. Right now, you hit the button. Getting massaged seats. Yeah, that's right, massage seats. The first thing I noticed right away, obviously the 627 horsepower. You'd notice that right away. 553 foot-pounds of torque, and it's coming out of this 4.4 liter twin turbo V8. But the first thing I noticed right away, this is me getting into the 22 M5. I literally threw the camera on, went out of the parking lot, and hit the gas like that. First reaction right now, this second, the car feels so similar. Okay, I have the F80 M3, right? So I can compare it a little bit to that in the sense of the size. This is a big car when you look at it on paper, and when you look at it from the perspective of weight and the perspective of also just in general of the size of the car. But being in the 22 M5 right now, it feels actually pretty dang light and nimble actually. Like, it doesn't feel like a big body four-door sedan. And in the price range, brand new, of the around the 120 to 145 mark, because depending how you configure it, if you configure it with ceramic brakes or no ceramic brakes, etc. This one's configured with every option minus the carbon ceramic brakes. This thing, right away, the torque, it's monstrous. And the power is just, the delivery, I could just feel it. Third gear, I got into the throttle there, and it was just like, it doesn't even, it feels so light on its feet. It's crazy. Obviously, it's a big motor with a ton of power. Like, that's third. Jeez, it just pulls you right back into the seat. That's so wild. This car is finished off in a beautiful San Marino blue. So this is like one of my favorite colors. It's such a rich blue look to it that, oh my gosh, it paired with this like almost like this brownish baseball glove type of interior. I don't know the exact name for this interior, but it's similar to like a baseball glove type of interior. Ambient lighting inside also on point. The big screen display, I want to say it's like around a 12, 13, maybe even a 14-inch display. That's what it looks like. That's what it feels like. I'll get the exact numbers and post a little pop-up of the exact screen size when I edit the video. I don't know off the top of my head. Literally just got in the car. He's like, you want to review it? I had the camera charged up, so figured might as well. So we're gonna take a little corner here. We'll see how it feels. He's got no plate on here, so we're gonna have to take a little. Oh my goodness, this thing handles so good. And the only modification that's done to this, it only has a downpipe. That's it. It doesn't have a tune, doesn't have anything. Really, the downpipe right now is giving it some little extra power, allowing the turbos to breathe, but no tune, no nothing. Out of the box, right away, this feels really good. This feels a lot better than I ever thought it was gonna feel, honestly. I was always riding in the passenger seat. You're not really sure how it's gonna feel. This feels solid. The new double digital display also, where you have the RPM on one side going in reverse essentially, and then you have the speedo going in the right direction, so to speak, clockwise, while the RPM goes kind of counterclockwise. That's a cool feature and touch. Another cool thing is having the, you know, similar to the other M models like the M3 and the M4s, and obviously the M5 and M6s, geez, there's so many M's now, M8, is you have the M1 and the M2 on the steering wheel too. That's a nice touch, because he has it set up right now where you can configure this thing to go rear wheel drive. You hit M2 twice, boom. Right now we're in rear wheel drive mode. I'm not messing with rear wheel drive mode. I'm just staying in M1 because it's not my car, and I'm not trying to, you know, do anything crazy with this thing. Just want to do a couple little pulls to kind of show my reaction. This thing has so much power. Good. It doesn't feel like a sloppy kind of steering feel. It's like you point and you shoot and you're there. Like, there's no hesitation, right? A lot of these bigger body cars, I notice, you have this hesitation with the steering. The steering doesn't necessarily like to play friendly with you as a driver, right? Because I think right now that BMW is making some of the best driver cars. They're one of the only companies outside of Porsche that's still putting a 6-speed manual in their cars, a true 6-speed, 3 pedals, right? So giving I think BMW and Porsche are really at the pinnacle of their game right now when it comes to more modern day, right? Everyone's like, oh, I want the old stuff, I want this, I want that, in terms of old technology and analog, and cars aren't raw anymore. But this being an M5 family saloon car, technically you want to call it, for a sedan, this really does feel like a really good driver's car. And then also you're able to throw your kids in the back seat and not have to worry about anything in terms of space, or sacrificing performance for space, or sacrificing performance for luxury, or sacrificing performance for just having 4 doors, right? That's what I think BMW does best. And BMW cars, the M cars especially, I think they're so easy to differentiate. That is the one thing about Mercedes that I personally don't like, is some of the comparable cars like in the E63 or the C63 realm. A lot of times I'll see an E63 or a C63 and I'm not even sure if it's an actual E63, a C63, or what it is exactly. So props to BMW on this. Props to BMW for doing unique colorways, allowing you to spec cars and however you see fit, in terms of if you get the order or the allocation, you can really play with it. And this one has all the carbon options on it as well. So then the exterior wise, on the front lip, the grills, the kidney grills, the rear diffuser, it is beautifully spec'd in terms of from the factory out of the box, being able to come with all these carbon options. A lot of times these big manufacturers, you know, they're not really offering carbon options, or it's gloss, or it's plastic, right? Like that is one thing I understand with like other manufacturers. They probably want to cut costs and save somewhere, so they're not offering that. But I sometimes think it's a little bit of a miss by not offering that, because you know, you're taking away from some enthusiasts, where a lot of these people go and buy aftermarket carbon. Jeez, it didn't even get past 5,000 RPM there. A lot of people go and buy aftermarket carbon because they want to go buy aftermarket carbons because the car doesn't come with it, or doesn't come optioned. These things right here are now starting to come optioned with everything. Driving experience wise, right now I have it set stiff. Now I just put it in normal drive mode. Oh my goodness. You could just feel right there the suspension change. The transmission gets butter smooth. Now it's in 7th gear. We're just cruising. This is how I think a saloon car should be set up. Or if you're looking for a 4-door sedan that you want to haul maybe your 2 kids in, you have a wife, you still want the trunk space, you still want a roomy interior, you still want to take it on road trips and get the performance aspect of it, this is something that has to be on your bucket list, right? I think this really does have to be on your bucket list. I wanted to take it for a quick drive, nothing crazy, and then we're gonna hop out right now and take a look at the exterior, and kind of I'll walk you guys through the exterior of the car. This, how it has the 20, they changed it I think in 19 to 20-ish, right in that range, where they changed it into having the facelifted headlights and the bumper, right? So if you look at a little previous model years, like the 19, it doesn't have the facelift on it. So that is something that you have with the new 22s, and I think they started it in 21 or 20. You'll have to look that one up. I think 19 to 20-ish, they kind of changed the realm of they added the new facelifted headlights, which I think they make the car just look insane. So we'll hop out right now and we'll take a look at the outside. We'll do a walk through the interior, but I just want to go for a quick drive, nothing crazy. It's not my car. I didn't want to go too bonkers on it, but you get a sense and feel for how quick this thing is just from my reaction in the quick speedo shot. All right, so this is a little bit about what I was talking about with the facelifted running lights, right? And the whole headlight assembly itself. And then you could see here with the carbon options, you got the carbon front lip, you got the carbon kidney grills, you got the carbon side mirror caps, you got the beautiful, beautiful carbon M5 competition side grill or side vent, you want to call it, over the fender. Then you also have, this was done aftermarket, but he did the duckbill in the rear, which I think looks absolutely amazing. And then the center, this is all gloss black right here on this corner and this corner, but this down here is all carbon fiber with the rear diffuser. So this right here is, this color in San Marino blue is just, it's so rich, it's so hard to even capture on camera. I call him the 5%er because he loves rocking 5% tint on everything. Front window, sides, back. I don't know how the video is going to look for me in the car. I'm curious to see that because it's so dark, but we'll hop inside real quick and we'll take a look. So one of my favorite interiors that I've ever seen, this spec with the blue, with the, it's like almost like like I was saying earlier, like a baseball glove orangish, like it has like an orangish teal to it. I got to ask him what color this is in particular, but the M5 badging on the seats, the ambient lighting. You have a ton of room in the back, I'm tall, I'm about 6'1" or so. and my seat was all the way back, and you can tell I could still sit back there and sneak my legs in. I might, you know, if I'm taller and I'm in the back, the person in the front might have to scoot up a slight bit. But let's get inside here for a second. So M2, I was talking earlier, you hit M2 twice, you're now in drift mode. So now this thing is like, okay, DSC is off, we're in drift mode, we're about to get squirrely and have a little fun. The screen is massive, huge screen. I need to get the actual proper size of this thing. Also has the actual intelligent safety, which is super cool. Lets you know cars around you, your blind spot monitors, etc. You can configure it however you see fit. It'll even hit the brake for you. It's got the active cruise control, so you know it'll cruise control for you as well. This car is a lot of bang for the buck. And if you're in the market for a 22 M5, coming from somebody with experience with cars like Porsches, with cars like BMWs like mine, which is sitting right over there, my M3. This is something in that price range, because you don't have to buy it new. He bought it new, right? When I was saying the prices, those were new prices. But when you're looking at this car in the used car market, you could get a very clean, well-equipped example just like this one with 10, 12, 13,000 miles certified pre-owned for in the ballpark of the 90 to 95 range to up to 100 grand. You could even go as low as 80 if you want to go the 2019 or 2020 route. So that this right here is where it's at. This is pinnacle BMW when it comes to big four-door sedan with tons of power that doesn't feel like a big four-door sedan. And you have the new climate control setup, which I really love, because they still kind of kept the button feel a little bit here, like a little haptic feedback, but they still kept the buttons here on the side and the buttons here for the radio and your DVD, or excuse me, the radio and your satellite radio and your music controls, etc. And then you have obviously all the controls on the steering wheel. It also, which you might be able to see there, it has the heads-up display as well. So overall, this thing is dialed in, and if you're in the market for one, I suggest you go test drive a 22 M5. You know, thanks to my buddy Slow213 on Instagram. I'll throw his IG up there. I might be missing a couple letters on the handle, but I'll throw it up there. And yeah, I appreciate you letting me review it. I appreciate you watching if you made it this far. Like, comment, subscribe. I want to do some more reviews. I got some more cars coming up. Some friends are letting me borrow, like Audi e-tron, Tesla Model Y. Going to compare them both since they're similar price ranges. Just very different stuff that you wouldn't normally see. A hydrogen car that you guys got to see. A hydrogen car, yeah. The first time I've ever driven a hydrogen car the other day, it was so weird. So I'm going to go review a hydrogen car too, which you guys will see come to the channel here in the next week or two. But anyways, thanks for watching. See you later.